History and global geography. Around 20 BC, which ancient four-letter kingdom located in modern-day Sudan was ruled by the one-eyed queen Amanirenas, who successfully fought back a Roman army. Kush. Although founded in Washington state in the 1930s, the first Filipino-led union in the United States was formed to represent workers in the cannery industry of which territory, which was not yet a U.S. state. Alaska. Once known as Serendib, which South Asian island nation is home to 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, including the Sinharaja Forest. Sri Lanka. Known as the Republic of North Macedonia since 2019, which country is famous for being the only nation to secede from Yugoslavia without any bloodshed. North Macedonia. Despite what its name suggests, which African nation lies entirely north of the equator and directly south of Cameroon? Equatorial Guinea. Science and medical technology. What name is given to an implanted medical device composed of a pulse generator, leads or wires, and electrodes, which is used to regulate a patient's heartbeat? Pacemaker. Which planet in our solar system features a prominent, extensive ring system made of ice and rock particles? Saturn. Which famous astronomer wrote the book Pale Blue, which was inspired by a photograph taken of Earth by Voyager 1? Carl Sagan. Language and literature. Truman Capote's 1966 book In Cold Blood, published about 10 years before Helter Skelter, is considered one of the best-selling books in which non-fiction literary genre? True crime. Agatha Christie wrote a 1923 Hercule Poirot mystery titled The Murder on the Links, using a term that serves as a synonym for what type of seaside sports venue? Golf course. In the English alphabet, which two lowercase letters feature a dot-shaped diacritical mark officially known as a tittle? INJ. To quote 1 Timothy 6 verse 10 correctly, which 7-word phrase should be placed immediately after the words, the love of? Money is the root of all evil. In Shakespeare's Hamlet, which archaic verb form meaning does, comes immediately after the famous line, the lady doth protest too much. Methinks. Which 4-word phrase used as a catchphrase of explanation never actually appeared in any of Arthur Conan Doyle's original Sherlock Holmes writings, despite being in common use by 1909? Elementary, my dear Watson. Wildlife and nature. Crocodiles are often cited as Africa's second deadliest animal, ranking just behind which fiercely territorial, semi-aquatic mammal? Hippopotamus. Devouring dozens of railway builders in 1898, Africa's notorious man-eaters of Tsavo were a pair of which savage big cats? Lions. One of the world's deadliest arachnids, the Brazilian wandering variety of which creature belongs to the genus Phenutria, which translates from Greek as murderous? Spider. Known by the nickname Black Death, and bearing the name of an African promontory, which moody ruminant is known as one of the continent's most dangerous animals to hunt. Cape buffalo. Many non-venomous snakes, such as the California king snake, use what physical method to subdue and suffocate their prey before swallowing it whole? Constriction. Which Central American nation is celebrated as a major biodiversity hotspot, featuring endemic species like the mangrove hummingbird? Costa Rica. Environmental history. Earth Day 2024 featured the theme, Planet vs. Plastics, to draw attention to the fact that 400 million tons of what plural category of materials are produced every year? Plastics. Earth Day co-founder and U.S. Senator Gaylord Nelson helped pass landmark environmental legislation banning the domestic use of which notorious 3-letter synthetic pesticide? DDT. Which federal agency often issues an annual Earth Day message, as Administrator Christine Todd Whitman did from Adirondack State Park in 2002? Environmental Protection Agency. Since 2010, the organization EarthDay.org has planted tens of millions of trees through a restoration project that shares its name with which layer of a rainforest? Canopy. Celebrated annually in the United States on April 22, Earth Day is tied to which astronomical event by the United Nations, which alternates between that date and the actual day the event occurs? Vernal equinox. Film and entertainment. Reimagining the chaotic behind-the-scenes creation of Jean-Luc Godard's groundbreaking French New Wave film Breathless, which 2025 movie stars Guillaume Marbeck and Zoe Deutsch. Nouvelle Vague. In a 2025 adventure comedy movie, actors Paul Rudd and Jack Black star in a remake of which popular 1990s creature feature about a giant, terrifying Amazonian snake? Anaconda. In an Oscar-nominated performance, Peter O'Toole plays an eccentric movie director who has to hire a replacement for what specific crew position after the previous person drowns? Stuntman. Orson Welles' final film The Other Side of the Wind, which was completed long after his death, stars which other legendary American film director as the main character? John Huston. The chaotic, disastrous production of a fictional Vietnam War-era film serves as the main plot for which 2008 satirical action comedy movie? Tropic Thunder. Music and arts. Ludwig van Beethoven dedicated his famous Moonlight Sonata, which he subtitled Quasi una Fantasia, to which of his young students? Countess Giulietta Guicciardi. Brilliant fireworks were famously set off at the 1749 London premiere of which orchestral suite composed by George Frideric Handel? Music for the Royal Fireworks. The celesta was a brand new instrument when Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky used its distinct, bell-like sound to portray which magical character in the Nutcracker? Sugar Plum Fairy. Although it was likely never performed during his own lifetime, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's final and longest symphony received which mythic nickname? Jupiter. Edvard Grieg used the flute and oboe to perfectly evoke the dawn in Morning Mood, an orchestral piece originally composed as incidental music for which Henrik Ibsen play? Peer Gynt. Polka dots are a traditional pattern featured on the elaborate, ruffled dresses worn by performers of which passionate Andalusian dance? Flamenco. Painted by Pablo Picasso, The Happy Family is a rare example of his experimentation with which artistic technique, which involves applying tiny dots of paint to a canvas to form a larger image. Pointillism. Sports and leisure. The 17th hole at TPC Sawgrass is a world-famous island green measuring 141 yards. What is the standard par score established for this hole? 3. The Vardon grip, which is the most popular hand placement used by golfers today, is named after Harry Vardon, a 6-time winner of which prestigious golf tournament? The Open Championship. Inbee Park and Say Repak are 2 of the 10 champions from which Asian country to win the U.S. Women's Open, putting their nation second only to the United States in total titles? South Korea. In golf, what canine-inspired term describes a fairway that curves sharply to the left or to the right before reaching the green? Dogleg. Historical figures. In 10th century England, Ethelflaed, the daughter of Alfred the Great, successfully captured the town of Derby from the great heathen army of which Scandinavian invaders? Vikings. During the 1429 siege of Orleans, which teenage French heroine famously took an arrow to the shoulder but refused to stop fighting? Joan of Arc. In 1885, the revered Apache warrior and shaman Lozan fought alongside which legendary Chiricahua Apache leader, who was renowned for his daring escapes from captivity? Geronimo. Fighting during the Napoleonic Wars, French soldier Therese Figuer did not disguise her gender like Mulan when she fought openly at which historic 1805 conflict, also known as the Battle of the Three Emperors? Battle of Austerlitz. Jean-Jacques Rousseau attributed the famous phrase, "Let them eat cake," to a great princess when Marie Antoinette was still a young child, indicating the quote was likely not spoken by which French queen? Marie Antoinette. There was no "greatly" included in an iconic 1897 letter sent by which famous American author, who wrote that the report of my death was an exaggeration? Mark Twain. Labor unions and law enforcement. Founded by patrol officers in Pennsylvania in 1915, which fraternal organization currently stands as the largest law enforcement labor union in the United States? Fraternal Order of Police. Founded in Chicago in 1905, which radical international labor union advocated for the organization of one big union and earned the nickname the Wobblies? Industrial Workers of the World. Founded in New York, the Black-led Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters faced intense corporate opposition from which major American rail car manufacturing company? Pullman Company. In 1995, the United Rubber Workers Union, which was headquartered in Ohio, voted to officially merge with which larger industrial labor organization? United Steelworkers. Vocabulary and terms. What proper anatomical term refers to the hard, flat section of a turtle shell that completely covers its back? Carapace. Derived from the Latin root words for peace, what noun meaning the action of bringing about peace has carried a heavily negative political reputation since the 1930s? Appeasement. What 5-letter verb meaning to put fears or doubts to rest begins with the letter A? Allay. What soothing noun meaning a temporary period of calm is famously paired with the phrase into a false sense of security? Lull. What specific style of typographical print makes letters slant slightly to the right to make specific words stand out in a text? Italics. What specific term is used in modern law enforcement to describe the process of managing a tense situation to minimize the necessity of physical force? De-escalation. Often used in a negative context, what noun is defined as a state of self-satisfaction or contentment with a status quo that prevents a person from trying harder? Complacency. What religious term meaning propitiating or winning back favor with a gift, typically referred to earning the good graces of deities in the ancient world? Placation. Political firsts. In 1997, which island nation and member of the Commonwealth of Nations appointed its first female prime minister, Jenny Shipley, who was immediately followed in office by Helen Clark? New Zealand.